Welcome, football fans, to this NFL Week 13 review on Tim Reynolds Show, as I'm reviewing all these week's games from Thanksgiving week in the NFL. And that's where we would start on Turkey Day, where the Chicago Bears took on the Detroit Lions. And the Lions defense would come up clutch in the fourth quarter of this matchup after a second half rally from the Chicago Bears offense. We would see, with 29 seconds remaining, the Detroit Lions get a sack on rookie quarterback Caleb Williams. But we would see a crucial mistake from the rookie quarterback as he tried to call a play very quickly after being sacked, but unfortunately would run out the clock as they were inside field goal range. But because of that, time would expire off of that incomplete pass, and the Detroit Lions get a 23-20 victory. And even though the Chicago Bears offense had one timeout remaining, they were not able to get that timeout called, and because of that, head coach Matt Eberflus was fired and let go because of that crucial coaching blunder. And this is the first time in Chicago Bears 102-year franchise history that they have fired a coach mid-season. And now the Detroit Lions make their own franchise history as they now improve to 11-1 for the first time in franchise history with this victory on Thanksgiving Day, where they also ended a 7-game Thanksgiving Day losing streak with this win. Then next up on Thanksgiving Day, guys, we would see the New York Giants traveling to take on the Dallas Cowboys in Jerry World, and the Dallas Cowboys were able to use the running game as Rico Dowdle had 112 yards rushing and a touchdown to help lead the Dallas Cowboys to a 27-20 victory over the New York Giants, their first victory at home in Jerry World. Then next up, guys, we would see the Miami Dolphins traveling to take on the Green Bay Packers in frozen Lambeau Field, and this would be a big home field advantage for the Green Bay Packers, as the Miami Dolphins came here a little flat, especially in the first half, but Tua Tagovailoa ended up finishing with 365 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. But unfortunately, the Dolphins gave up 5 sacks as the Green Bay defense came up clutch in this one to help lead the team to victory 30-17, as the Dolphins could not do enough. And now with this loss, they dropped to 5-7 and will have to win out most of their games for the rest of the season and get some help if they want a chance to make the 2024 playoffs in the AFC. But with this win, we see the Packers move to 9-3 on the season, as the Green Bay Packers are looking like one of the best teams in the NFC right now, especially after this win. And then we'd see next up on Black Friday, we would have the Las Vegas Raiders taking on the Kansas City Chiefs, and the Chiefs would get another nail-biter victory in this matchup, even though we would see the Raiders offense led by O'Connell, who had 340 yards passing and 2 touchdowns, and he would be hitting his number one target, rookie tight end Brock Bowers, who had 10 catches for 140 yards and a touchdown. But that would not be enough, because on their last possession of the game, O'Connell would drop the snap from the center, as he actually snapped it too early, and we would see the Kansas City Chiefs jump on the fumble and recover it, as they're able to get the victory 19-17 on this Friday night Black Friday matchup here in Thanksgiving week in the NFL, as the Chiefs now move to 11-1 on the year and 6-0 at home with this win. Then next up, guys, we see the Los Angeles Chargers on Sunday taking on the Atlanta Falcons, and we would see the Chargers get a huge victory in this one 17-13 after Atlanta Falcons starting quarterback Kirk Cousins throws 4 interceptions and a pick 6 that ended up being very crucial for the Chargers being able to get the victory, as they see wide receiver McConkey has 9 catches for 117 yards to help lead this Chargers team to a victory. But it was the defense for the Chargers that really came up clutch to help them improve to 8-4 on the season after this win. But the Atlanta Falcons now drop to 6-6 and are tied in the NFC South with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers after losing this game. Then next up, guys, we see the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Cincinnati Bengals, and the Steelers were able to get a big victory in this one, led by quarterback Russell Wilson, who had over 400 yards passing and 3 touchdowns on the day to lead the Steelers to a 44-38 victory, a big shootout between these division rivals, as the Steelers get the win in this matchup to improve to 9-3 on the season, and the Bengals drop to 4-8, and now they'll have to win out and get some help if they want any chance of making the playoffs this 2024 NFL season. Then next up here, guys, we see the Arizona Cardinals taking on the Minnesota Vikings, and the Vikings would use their home field advantage as they were able to march down the field on their last drive, and with seconds to go, or I should say a minute 13 left to go in the game, we would see the the Vikings pull off their 5th straight win, 23-22 over the Arizona Cardinals, as we see Jefferson had 7 catches for 99 yards, with Aaron Jones getting the late TD reception to help give the Vikings the lead and the win, as they improved to 10-2 on the season, looking like one of the best teams in the NFC, if not the NFL. And the Arizona Cardinals dropped to 6-6 on the year after this loss, as they're still competing for their division, even though they're 6-6 on the year. Then next up, guys, we would see the Indianapolis Colts taking on the New England Patriots. And guys, we would see quarterback Anthony Richardson throw a touchdown and runs for a 2-point conversion with 12 seconds remaining to get the Colts the victory in this matchup, 25-24, as we see clutch play from the Colts quarterback in this one, and they were able to get Jonathan Taylor the ball with 25 carries for 96 yards to help control the clock, and we see Richardson be clutch at the very end, helping get the 2-point conversion to give the Colts the victory and improve to 6-7 on the year and keep their playoff hopes alive. And then next up, guys, we see the Seattle Seahawks traveling to take on the New York Jets, and a little bit of a homecoming for quarterback Geno Smith, who used to play for the New York Jets, as we see Smith have a really good day with 206 yards passing and 1 touchdown, and we would see the Seattle Seahawks get a huge victory, 26-21 over the New York Jets, as Seattle moves to 7-5 on the year, and they actually have the lead in their division, and they're also 4-1 on the road, which is one of the best road records in their division. Then next up here, guys, we would see the Tennessee Titans taking on the Washington Commanders, and the Commanders get back in the win column after a 4-touchdown performance from their rookie quarterback Jalen Daniels, who helped lead this team to a 42-19 blowout victory over the Tennessee Titans. And we see Brian Robinson Jr. also had a really good day running the ball for the Commanders offense with 103 yards rushing and a touchdown, as we see the Commanders improve to 8-5 on the year after this victory. The next up, guys, we see the Houston Texans traveling to take on the Jacksonville Jaguars, and the Texans get a 23-20 victory, and this was a nail biter, came down to the end, but what everybody was talking about after this game was the bad late hit from linebacker Ashish Shazier for the Houston Texans, as he hit quarterback Trevor Lawrence late and knocked Trevor Lawrence out of the game with a concussion, and actually started a little bit of a fight after that, as most people thought that that was a late hit, and he actually got kicked out of the game and actually has been suspended from the NFL for 3 games due to that hit on Jacksonville's quarterback Trevor Lawrence. But the Texans do get the victory and improve to 8-5 on the year. Next up, guys, after that matchup, we would see the Los Angeles Rams traveling to take on the New Orleans Saints, and the Rams would come back with 14 points scored in the 4th quarter to get the victory in this one, 21-14. But unfortunate news in this one, as we would see the Swiss Army knife for the New Orleans Saints, Taysom Hill, actually injured his knee in this matchup, and has been reported that he tore his ACL and now will be out the rest of the season. But the Rams now keep their playoff hopes alive, as they improve to 6-6 off of this win. Then next up, guys, we would see my Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Carolina Panthers in an NFC South divisional matchup, and this one would come down to the very end, as we would see Bryce Young for the Carolina Panthers offense lead this offense down the field late in this game to get the go-ahead touchdown with only 30 seconds remaining in regulation. But quarterback Baker Mayfield would lead this Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense down the field in 30 seconds to set up the game-tying field goal to send it into overtime, and then it's the defense for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers that comes up clutch in overtime, as we'd see defensive lineman Anthony Nelson, number 98, gets a strip sack to give the Bucs the ball in overtime, and then we would see Rachaad White have a 38-yard run to get the Bucs down into very close field goal range, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers get the overtime victory, 26-23 in Week 13. This is also their first victory in overtime this season, as they now improve to 6-6 on the year and are tied with the Atlanta Falcons for the NFC South division lead. Then next up here, guys, we would see one of the bigger matchups of the weekend, as the Philadelphia Eagles were traveling to take on the Baltimore Ravens, and the Ravens came up just short in this one, as they made way too many mistakes in this matchup, but it was Saquon Barkley once again leading this Philadelphia Eagles offense with 107 yards rushing and a touchdown to help lead this this Eagles team to a huge victory, 24-19. And Saquon Barkley also added in 2 catches for 10 yards in this matchup to have a really, really good day to lead to this victory for the Eagles, as they now improved to 10-2 on the season, 6-1 away from home, and they are looking like one of the serious competitors to the Detroit Lions in the NFC, as now the NFC is definitely top heavy, not only with what's going on in the NFC North with the Detroit Lions, Green Bay Packers, and Minnesota Vikings, but now the Philadelphia Eagles join those top tier teams as far as their record at 10-2 in the NFC. And the Baltimore Ravens are going to have to look to bounce back as they now drop to 8-5 after this loss, not really looking like consistent play from the defense or the offense from the Baltimore Ravens all year long. So we'll have to see how they are able to do coming off of this loss. Then next up, guys, on Sunday Night Football, we would see the San Francisco 49ers taking on the Buffalo Bills, and the Buffalo Bills would dominate this matchup as quarterback Josh Allen made NFL history, as he's the first quarterback in NFL history to have a rushing TD, a passing TD, and a TD reception in this one after Amari Cooper catches the pass and ladders it to Josh Allen in this matchup, as Allen does a little hook and ladder TD to get the victory 35-10 and make NFL history. But the 49ers get a lot of injuries in this matchup as they lose both of their running backs in the backfield, including running back Christian McCaffrey, who's expected to miss the rest of the season with a PCL injury. Then, guys, next up, after the Buffalo Bills get the win to improve to 10-2 and become the first team to clinch a playoff berth as they clinch their division with this win, we see Monday Night Football was another big shootout, this time as the Cleveland Browns took on the Denver Broncos, and the Broncos come out on top 41-32 after we seen Jameis Winston play Jameis Winston football after he throws for almost 500 yards and 4 touchdowns, but also unfortunately throws 2 pick sixes as this Broncos defense comes up clutch to get the victory for the Denver Broncos that improved to 8-5 on the year and look like a serious contender in the AFC. And guys, this has been your NFL Week 13 review from Tim Reynolds Show. Please make sure you guys like and subscribe to the channel, and thank you guys so much for checking out Tim Reynolds Show's NFL reviews, and make sure you guys check me out for more NFL content, my WWE show reviews, and much more right here on this football-loving sports entertainment channel, Tim Reynolds Show. Thank you guys so much. Make sure you like and subscribe and leave some comments to let me know what you guys think of the show. I'd really appreciate your feedback. Peace out, guys, and hope you guys had a great holiday weekend.